Your Sports 1140 KHTK update. Brought to you by J.R. Putman Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Hey, this is Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. San Francisco Giants manager announced yesterday that he will retire after the 2019 season. Boccia became the Giants manager in 2007. He won 3 world titles since 2010. And in hockey last night, that's right, talking hockey, the San Jose Sharks went down 3-1 in the first period, but battled back to tie the game at 5 and send it to overtime behind a hat trick from Joe Thornton. Boston prevailed in OT, though, to take home a 6-5 win. San Jose now sits 1 point behind Calgary for first in the Pacific. Those are your top stories. Now time for the third hour of the drive with Damian and Jason filling in for Dave on Sports 1140 KHTK.
And we're so happy you're here with us again. Damian Barling along with the king of the live stream, Jason Herbert Walker Ross. We will be here with you all week. Dave will return on Monday. Of course, you can listen to us on the KHTK app. You can listen to us on 1140 a.m. anywhere in Northern California. And you can watch us anywhere in the world over on the live stream at KHTK.com. Jason's favorite place to be in the entire world. Normally at the top of every hour, we would recount every major top story going on in all the sports. Okay, let's get to that.
We're done.
Okay, now that you're caught up on all the major news in sports, get ready for a lot of that this weekend as the Sacramento Kings are not back in action until Thursday. Check that. No basketball team is back in action until Thursday.
Correct. So we have to wait a few more days, but then now the sprint to the finish, the 25 games left. It's going to be a lot of fun. Each day, scoreboard watching about the Kings, watching to see what everyone else is doing.
A lot of question marks, too. Question marks surrounding, believe it or not, the San Antonio Spurs. Question marks surrounding, and you can't preface it as the Los Angeles Lakers. You have to preface it as LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. And I do think there's a certain, what's going to happen here in the final week of the season with a team like the Los Angeles Clippers, who you believe they want to run. They want to get to the playoffs. They want to do all this until you look a little bit deeper and realize, okay, wait a minute. They get to the playoffs to be the sacrificial lamb potentially for the Golden State Warriors. They lose their draft pick. What does Doc Rivers want in this situation? A shot in the lottery or just to say we made the playoffs?
Yeah, see, now Doc literally is now just the coach. Not that he can't have the bigger picture in mind, but when he was a decision maker in the front office, maybe he had a different thought process there. Now, I'm sure as a coach and as players, I know they try to win every game. You can hurt your chances, though, and that's what I think we need to watch for with the Clippers, because I personally think they are good enough to make it. I like their roster still, but if they make a decision to say, oh, on this night we are resting this player, or whatever, load management, whatever creative way, then you kind of have an idea. But because they've all been off for some time. Now there's 25 games to go. It's a sprint to the finish. No need for guys to rest.
Damian, you mentioned the Spurs, which I think is interesting. If I told you guys that the Kings make the playoffs, I say, hey, I'm here from the future. The Kings make the playoffs. What teams do you think would be out?
I can't wrap my brain around San Antonio being out.
Sure.
So I feel like it's the Clippers.
It's the Clippers
and the Lakers. Yeah,
okay.
In my opinion, it's the Clippers and the Lakers, and the Kings and the Spurs are in.
Okay.
I just can't buy the Lakers yet. If we do this again in let's see, they're back Thursday. If we do this again in a week and the Lakers have won maybe 2 or 3 games in a row, okay, then I'll start to get on board with it. But right now, I'm a victim of the last thing I saw, and the last thing I saw was not very good. I know that they beat Boston in the midst of all of that. That's right now is the outlier. They had the 42-point loss versus Indiana. They had that incredible win against the Boston Celtics, and they lost one right after that. And then you're looking at it like, why am I supposed to believe in this team that I believe is in complete disarray right now? And I don't think this All-Star break is doing them any good services. I know Kyle Kuzma won the I don't know, whatever the Rising Stars, whatever that game is called anymore. Like, he won the MVP, and that's like, all right, cool. LeBron wasn't his teammate out there, and there wasn't a threat to trade his entire roster to a different organization while they were out there playing. There's no hurt feelings in the Rising Star Challenge, and maybe there's no hurt feelings in the Los Angeles Lakers locker room. But, man, it's human nature to me to be like, okay, well, now we're supposed to go make a playoff run, huh? Y'all didn't want us here. Magic just gave this big old speech about don't treat us like babies, treat us like men. Meanwhile, Magic has never been on the trading block. LeBron James has never been on the trading block. And we all have these like Hall of Fame level tier 1 superstars telling us how we're supposed to feel. Because Magic, if I'm Lonzo Ball, Magic told me last year I was going to be the future and face of this franchise. Now I'm falling the way of D'Angelo Russell. And if I'm Ingram and I'm Lonzo and I'm Kuzma, I'm looking at D'Angelo Russell going, oh, he got the hell out of here and became an all-star. He got away from this and was able to showcase his talent. Okay. Maybe it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Maybe this offseason can't come soon enough for the Los Angeles Lakers.
He made an all-star team, and he publicly has said he's the most fun he's ever had playing basketball.
Yeah. Which, to me, that was a clear shot at the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah. Now, and we know that they added probably a high-stress player-type situation in LeBron, but a guy that can help carry you to the postseason. And Russell was never there with him, but he sure seems happy. And then the other guys that know their name has been thrown out there in this trade that has never happened, it's got to be tough to recover.
So here's a question that we'll throw at you. The Athletic was writing about it. They were talking about Anthony Davis. What is your perception of Anthony Davis changing? Because I'm starting as we get further and further into this, and I don't know if we're at an end here because we speculated on Friday after Anthony Davis had left that Thursday night game with the shoulder injury. He plays 5 minutes in the All-Star game. We had the conversation about him leaving. Obviously, Dell Demps was fired that morning, all of the different things that went on. And I started to look at this like, this is starting to feel a little bit like Dwight Howard in Orlando. Not different. Like in terms of like if you wrote down everything that happened, the circumstances would be completely different. But it was equally as big of a debacle. Remember, Dwight wanted out. And then out of nowhere, Dwight Howard opted into his deal. And then right after he opts in, he wants back out. And you're looking at this like, okay, that essentially turned Dwight from a fun-loving babyface character into this indecisive turd that no one since then has been able to stand. And conveniently enough, the Los Angeles Lakers were associated with that deal as well. And then everything that went on in Houston. And now he's just jumping across teams, and he's in Washington. People in Washington don't think he's ever going to play another game for them. And I look at Anthony Davis going, okay, this was mismanaged by Rich Paul and probably LeBron James, and to a certain extent Anthony Davis. And it just feels like one big screw up after another.
Yeah, and I don't think the league, as much as they're getting attention for this, likes this part of it. Anthony Davis had never had that perception about him as a guy that was difficult to deal with, only wanted it one way, his way, the best way, the winning way. I don't think he's had that perception on him, and he'd been quiet. That's why when the whole thing became known, it didn't feel like it fit.
Yeah.
And then once it became public, then there was no way around it. Then, LeBron's getting asked about it. Magic's getting asked about it. Anthony Davis is getting asked about it. All those Lakers that we previously mentioned are now thrown into the rumor mill, which I believe all that's legit. But the trade doesn't go through. Yeah. So now you have the mess, the cleanup, and the cleanup's not done. And so much so that I know this weekend and All-Star Weekend, kind of the state of the league, Adam Silver even kind of addressed that. Like, yeah, we've got a league policy, but is this the best policy? Do we want to hurt our guys like this? We have put so much into these contracts to benefit the small markets, to give them the opportunity to stay in these places. But if players turn down that large amount of money, what else can we do as a league?
Yeah, and I don't really know, like, what's the next option? Like, if you're Adam Silver, it's like, okay, this didn't work. Let's try this. Like, I don't know what comes after that. I don't know what the next step is for Adam Silver and the league. You just have to acknowledge this isn't working for us.
Yeah.
The more money technique isn't working.
You're going to have to, and I know this would never happen, but I think the solution here, the quickest one, is like you just contract to like 10 teams And it's just like, hey, there you go. All the superstars are dispersed among the 10 teams, and now
essentially
everybody's
power
competitive.
conferences.
Yeah.
We take the
Power
college
5,
form and we form power conferences. We're just forming power teams.
That's it. And then the guys who are role players on the Pelicans, like, okay, maybe they're just not in the NBA anymore because they're not going to help a team win a championship.
I've also wondered.
Obviously, that's not going to happen, though.
Yeah. I've wondered if there'll be a kickback the other way, because usually there's a reaction to what this seems to be, when the first power team was set up. Oh, this is going to be the way it's going to go. It's going to go. It's going to go. And there's been a trend to some of that, but not everybody can join forces and create their own team that works. I have heard Russell Westbrook, I have heard Damian Lillard both say on camera that they don't believe in that they want to compete. They want to be on the team that they're on, competing against the best of the best. Now, they can all say that. I believe maybe Anthony Davis even thought that at one point, but he has changed his tune. And I just don't. I wonder if there'll be a cycle back to no. I'm staying on the team that drafted me or that has me now, and I want to win with the team that I'm on.
Okay. Here's another question. Are we sure there's a problem?
No,
because we're talking about a problem that needs to be fixed, but are we positive that there's actually a problem?
Or is it the perception of the problem? Yeah.
There's perception of a problem that might not actually exist.
Well,
the league is thriving.
It is, but okay, let's just take this case. This is a problem.
But why?
Because right now, Anthony Davis is getting booed at his home court.
Well, that's the Pelicans fans' fault.
Their fault?
Well, they're the ones booing.
Okay. And he's not playing in the best player on that team, no doubt about it, in one of the top 5 in the league.
Yep.
Top 10, wherever you put him. He's definitely in the top 10.
Yep.
Is not playing in meaningful games or in fourth quarters of games.
That's Alvin Gentry's fault. He's the coach.
Oh, is it?
Well, I'm just playing devil's advocate. This whole, like, if I'm Adam Silver, how do we address this?
Right.
Like, okay, you just named all of those things. Do you go to Alvin Gentry? Do you go to Rich Paul? Do you go to Anthony Davis? Like, where do you go?
Or you say you take away the fine of not playing if there's, allow it.
Just allow him not to play?
Then it's a league issue. You could do it.
So was that put into effect to eliminate tanking?
I think that was the genesis of it, yeah. But I think there's other layers to it.
We've talked about it more with guys like Steph Curry and guys like LeBron James and those needle-moving athletes who miss games during the season because of scheduled rest somewhere.
Right, and that's where I think the inequity of the league has handled it. We know here Zach Randolph didn't play. It was communicated to him that he wasn't going to. There wasn't any fallout. There wasn't any complaint about that. Mm-hmm. Well, Anthony Davis is different than Zach Randolph, but there's plenty of other guys that haven't been playing. Chandler Parsons, that were maybe able-bodied and able to play, but nobody seemed to care.
Zach and Chandler aren't needle movers.
They're not. But that's where you haven't. But why are you going to find my team or my guy or my organization?
It's the NBA's job to decide who is a superstar that moves the needle and who's not.
But apparently it is.
Yeah.
But what I think
that's weird. Then publish a list. Publish a list of who you value as a league.
They didn't even want the All-Star Draft telecast because they were afraid of people's feelings getting hurt. Right. There's no way they're going to publish a list of needle movers.
Okay, then treat everybody the same.
But I agree. I completely agree because guys like whether Zach Randolph came to an agreement with the Sacramento Kings about not playing, and everything that we were told from a number of people led us to believe that was the case, which is why he was smiling and joyful and he was happy to be with his team the whole year. That was an agreement. Carmelo doesn't have an agreement with any team out there. Neither does J.R. Smith. Those guys want to play basketball. And to me, the hell with Adam Silver, this is a players association issue where it's like, hey, you've got able bodies out here who can play, who can be signed to a team who could help you, and you guys aren't signing them. Or more specifically to these cases, you guys are just holding them hostage and making them sit. I feel like any one of those, like if Zach Randolph wanted to file a grievance, he could have. Again, his situation is different. Carmelo Anthony should be able to play basketball right now and shouldn't be held. I'm still confused. Is he on the Bulls or not? Has he been
really
cut?
knows.
I think he got released. I think he's a free agent.
But no one knows for sure the status of Carmelo Anthony.
I think Carmelo Anthony now plays for Milwaukee. I just decided that.
You just made that up. That's fantastic.
Should be a traveling player. Just go on different teams.
Maybe he's next to sign a deal in China with Michael Beasley.
Could be.
I'm telling you, man, he could go average 70 a game in China and just be a multi-billionaire.
Shots or points?
Yes.
Fire Wings. Try one of the delicious 21 flavors of wings today. Fire Wings. Just wing it. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Happy to bring in Cody Baylor. Cody, we are so happy to have you. Overreaction Monday is here. Do you need the layout as to why it's Overreaction Monday despite the fact that it's Tuesday?
No, I feel like that might take the rest of the show.
It's weird, but it makes sense.
But it makes complete sense. Yeah. Okay, Cody. Overreaction Monday. What do we got here?
Good morning. Okay, Anthony Davis is a full-on bad guy now. With more Anthony Davis.
No. Overreaction. For now. Revisit it later. Overreaction right now. He's not a bad guy.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yet.
How can he get to become a bad guy?
I'm really on the fence with this, though.
What makes him a bad guy? How is this his fault?
Well, that's what we were just talking about. It's not. In my opinion, it is 100% not his fault.
He requested a trade.
Well, see,
Rich
with a
Paul
year and a half,
requested a
with
trade.
he
You can
wants
give me that look all you want.
You think Anthony Davis didn't okay that?
Who is hired to be the bad guy? The agent is.
Sure.
So
but
Rich
you
Paul,
think Anthony Davis didn't facilitate
I didn't
that?
say that. I said Rich Paul was the one who publicly requested the trade, not Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Anthony Davis just said it's time to move on. That's all he said.
And I'm sure there was a conversation, though, like, hey, we want to do this public. You okay with that?
Of course.
Yeah.
And how long has he waited for the Pelicans to kind of shine, you know?
Oh, he's been waiting on that
Just won
forever.
a playoff series last year.
Yeah.
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 Oh, it was an incredible run that they had last year.
But he's just trying to better himself.
Yeah.
I think.
It was an incredible run that they had last year that I think everyone was shocked by.
I don't think he's a bad guy yet, but he feels like he's trending in that direction.
He's trending, but he's not there yet.
No.
He's definitely not there yet.
Hey, real quick, Carmelo Anthony's Wikipedia profile
Okay.
says Carmelo Anthony is a professional basketball player who last played for the Houston Rockets of the NBA. That's it. There's no like what team he's on. No mention
he's
of
been
any
on
moves.
several teams since the Houston
Just says
Rockets.
he last played for the Rockets.
He's been on a number of teams since the Houston Rockets. Cody, what's next?
The dunk contest is lame, and they should get rid of it.
That's an overreaction. It was not good this weekend, though, and it's not good some of the years, but some years it's good. It's part of the history. It's part of the tradition. I'd like to revamp it, but I wouldn't get rid of it.
It's fun to watch. I enjoy it every year.
It's a showcase.
I feel like we reached this point with the home run derby where everyone was like, gosh, just get rid of it. This is boring. And then they revamped it. They changed the rules, and now it's one of the most fun parts of the MLB All-Star festivities for me. And I think you could do that with the slam dunk contest. I don't know exactly what you would do, but there's a way to revamp it that makes it exciting again.
The dunk contest is lame, is not an overreaction. They should get rid of it, is an overreaction. You watch just for the glimpse of the great moment, the Zach LaVine moment, the Aaron Gordon moment, the jumping over a car moment, the whatever. You just want that one moment. You hope that it comes. It didn't come this weekend.
Yeah.
At least not in my opinion.
It was one of the worst ones this weekend, but it's still enjoyable to me.
I enjoyed it. Maybe I'm just...
You like the jumping over a plane?
Shaq.
I think you like the
jumping
culture-
over Quavo.
I was going to say you like the cultural aspect to it, how they brought out J. Cole and Quavo.
Quavo looked a little scared out there.
I would do. Did you just see what Collins did to the plane?
Yeah.
Imagine that being the side of Quavo's head. Nobody wants that.
Somebody jumped over Quavo?
Yeah, him.
Gosh, I missed that.
You did?
Yeah.
The elbow on the rim?
Yeah.
Well, that was
Wasn't that
Shaq. He
Dwayne
jumped
Wade?
over. What?
I'm so confused, man.
It's okay. Just you're cute. Just stay
Thanks,
there
man.
and be pretty. Just stay there and be pretty. What's next, Cody?
Steph's bounce pass, alley-oop, was the greatest play in All-Star game history.
Still right here, George off the backboard. And now I know we're at an all-star game as Giannis is able to put it down.
Yes, that is not an overreaction. That is accurate. One of the greatest plays we have ever seen in All-Star game history.
I feel like it's an overreaction, but then I don't have a counter.
I know, that's what I was trying to think. I was trying to look, and I was like, no.
Just acknowledge. Just say it.
No, it was
You're right,
amazing.
Damien. Yeah,
It
you're
was
right.
amazing.
Damien
It
is
was
right.
great. I'm just trying to think of other All-Star game moments, and I don't have one. But I don't know if this one's going to stick with me for 10 years.
I think this one will, and it's fascinating that this one, Will, and the Isaiah Thomas one to Dominique. I had never seen that play before until somebody was like, oh, yeah, I think it was Marcus Thompson from The Athletic was like, yeah, this play's happened before. I'd never seen it. But this one feels like more iconic than that. Like,
It was just amazing.
yeah, it was incredible.
Did you see the one in slow-mo?
Oh, yeah. The one in slow-mo.
Yeah.
So
So
good.
sick.
All the replays.
Yes.
All
Yes.
the angles.
Yeah, there's the what was it, Deadspin or Awful Announcing? One of those websites did a video where they just strung 45 seconds together of the different angles of the dunk, and just you find them equally as impressive, like
So
from
amazing.
angle to angle to angle.
It's amazing.
Was it because I'm trying to think of the excitement behind it because it was the bounce pass, the way Steph did it? Or, I mean, because honestly, if you go back to the game, there was probably 40 alley-oops,
Yeah.
right, in different versions, normal, off the glass.
Everything
But
was
this
just
one
perfect.
just seemed to get more attention than others.
I don't know.
It was
the
just
pass.
It was out on the break. He took no dribbles. And like you guys said, I think it was how emphatically he
The bounce.
spiked the ball into the ground, and then it just hung up there for 47 seconds. And Giannis, MJ, and Space Jammed it and reached up and threw it down. It was just an all-around, like, I don't think you can say what
It was
was
just a
better,
great
the
play.
pass or the dunk. Yeah, it was just phenomenal.
Nice Space Jam reference.
Thank you.
It was solid. Cody?
Sticking with the All-Star game, Rich Paul sitting courtside is a bad look for everyone involved.
You wanna lead this one off, Kyle?
I think it's a tough look, man. You've got a guy who his client got fined for publicly requesting a trade, and there's been tampering and all this other stuff, and so you're going to have the agent courtside, which I know, Damien, you said that's pretty standard practice, but it's like, hey, put him 10 rows back maybe. Just not right next to the court where all these soon-to-be free agents are that might want to go play with his top client or for LeBron's agency, let's be real. Like, that's tough.
So the issue isn't Rich Paul. The issue is
right.
LeBron James.
It's the NBA not being self-aware enough to go, hey, we have a huge problem with what this guy did. By the way, sit courtside. This is great.
Him wearing the Anthony Davis jersey, Lakers jersey, I thought was too much. Oh, that wasn't real?
Katie, I was going to say, can you please quantify that as you being J. Ross funny?
Yeah, that was not real.
Yeah, no, it was not.
But it is very, like you said, it's.
Though I'd agree that would be a little bit too far.
Yeah.
And
That
I
would
have
be
to imagine
classic.
I'd have to imagine there's rules against that.
But how many agents were sitting courtside or within? They're always there.
Yeah,
it's very standard.
But we're hypersensitive to Rich Paul because of Rich Paul's association with LeBron James, and we believe that LeBron James runs Clutch Sports, which, well,
He does.
okay. And so we believe that LeBron James is actually the agent in Rich Paul. It's similar to Rock Nation. Jay-Z is not an agent.
Right.
Jay-Z is the guy who closes the deal. They have full-on certified, been doing this for years, agents. It's just Jay-Z that comes in and locks things up and says, no, let's go ahead and close the deal here. That's essentially what LeBron James is or can be for Clutch Sports. The only issue is LeBron still plays,
Right.
which means he has an interest in where guys sign, i.e. J.R. Smith and Tristan Thompson.
It's just tough that Adam Silver's like, yeah, this is a problem that our league has. And by the way, one of the guys who was a central figure in our most recent problem is going to sit courtside at this All-Star game. I don't know.
How do you say, no, you can't sit here, but, oh, Bill Duffy, have a seat, or Casey Wasserman, have a seat?
Well, if they weren't just recently involved in a very high-profile public trade demand that got really messy for the league.
But it's not messy for the league. It's
They got
messy
really
for the
messy, I
Pelicans.
guess. All right.
It's not messy for the league.
Okay.
Adam Silver stood at the podium and was like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, but he doesn't like that. I mean, he's being
He
asked
doesn't
about
like it,
Yeah,
but it's not.
It's not good for
It's
the
not harming the league.
league. I don't know. I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's revisit that. We've got more overreactions, plenty more coming here as the lowdown fills in for Carmichael Dave here on The Drive.
Yeah, this is Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. San Francisco Giants manager Bruce Bochy announced yesterday that 2019 will be his final season and that he will retire at the end of the year. Bochy became the Giants manager in 2007. He has 3 World Series titles since 2010. And in hockey last night, that's right, that's how you know what's going on. Hockey, the San Jose Sharks went down 3-1 in the first period, but battled back to tie the game at 5 and send things to an extra period behind a hat trick from Joe Thornton. Boston prevailed in overtime, though, to take home a 6-5 win. San Jose sits 1 point back of Calgary for first in the Pacific Those are your top stories, and now back to the drive. It's Damian and Jason and Cody filling in for Dave on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Good morning and welcome back. This is Cody from The Lowdown. If you want to check us out on social media, you can find me at Cody Baylor, Damian at Damian Barling, Jason at Jason Ross 1140, and Chris at Sack_MCFC. Also, check out The Lowdown on Facebook. Damian and Jason, back to you.
Thanks, Cody. I thought I'd bring this to everybody's attention. Antonio Brown is back on social media.
Hey.
He's off the elliptical.
Okay.
He's in the Pittsburgh Steelers office. More specifically, he's in Mr. Rooney's office, the host of, no, he's not the host of, he's the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Antonio Brown wrote, "Had a great meeting with Mr. Rooney today. We discussed a lot of things and cleared the air on several issues. We both agreed that it is time to move on, but I'll always have appreciation and gratitude towards the Rooney family and the Steelers organization. Hashtag call God. Hashtag booming.
Call me Mr. Big Chest.
Mr. Big Chest."
Did he do a hashtag call God?
Call God, yeah.
I could evolution the game.
I'm sorry, what was that, Antonio?
I could evolution the game.
He could
Evolution the game.
evolution the game. Well, that's what the Lowdown does for radio. We
Yeah.
evolution the game
After you call God.
after. Yeah.
Hashtag call dog.
Yeah.
Dog.
What y'all looking at is a man body.
God.
I'm sorry, one more time, Antonio.
What y'all looking at is a man body.
A man body.
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm so mad that wasn't the caption for a recent photo. What y'all looking at is a.
I know which photo you're talking about.
That's a good one right there. I'm gonna have
Which
to.
one?
I'm gonna have to completely redo my Instagram
Yeah.
page just so I can get that on there.
What y'all looking at is a man body.
The Valentine's card, that would have worked quite well.
That would have worked.
Yeah.
Y'all looking at.
That would have looked very. Oh, that would have been a good look. That would have been. That might be. Oh man, I've had two of my favorite phrases come
I'm
up
sure
within
you
the
have
span
more
of a week.
photos to put.
Okay, all right.
We will wait.
A, you need to settle down. You're a little too feisty in the morning. And B, I don't. Between that one
Call me
and
Mr. Big Chest.
and I have the talent of not giving a F from
Oh,
Russell
Russ,
Westbrook
yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
Oh man, I might have found my two favorite catchphrases of all time. Just in
Look
the
out,
span-
Instagram. Look out.
Most people
Oh,
use
you've got
Drake,
your
most,
nerve.
Most people,
Why don't you calm down?
most people use Drake lyrics for captions. Damian uses Antonio Brown elliptical ramps for captions.
Right there. Oh, no, that was.
What
Jack.
y'all
Never
looking at
mind.
is a man body.
That's right, 100%. Cody,
That's
what do we
funny.
got here as
All
Overreaction Monday
right.
continues?
Antonio Brown will play for the Pittsburgh Steelers next season.
Well, apparently that's an overreaction based on this tweet we just got where he says, "We both agreed that it's time to move on, but I'll always have appreciation and gratitude towards the Rooney family." And he's got a picture of him and Mr. Rooney there just arm in arm. Everything's all good. Nothing to see here. No Ben Roethlisberger in the photo.
No 49ers shirt on.
No Mike Tomlin.
Ben Roethlisberger's working on his extension at the moment.
Of course he is, because why wouldn't he? He's a model citizen for the NFL. When we came up with that idea, I didn't think it was an overreaction.
You thought he was going to go back,
Mm-hmm.
even after the Bitmoji Instagram post?
Open for business.
Open for business.
You know what I thought more was the Steelers just weren't going to accommodate him.
Yeah.
That's all. I like. It's not a question of what. This is what we've learned from Le'Veon Bell. The Steelers don't give a crap what you want.
Yeah.
They don't care that Antonio Brown wants out. I thought, well, okay, this will be a fun story all year, and ultimately Antonio Brown will be a Pittsburgh Steeler next year.
Yeah.
But if this is accurate and both parties have come to a resolution that the Steelers are going to attempt to move Antonio Brown when the new league year begins here in a couple of weeks, then perhaps that statement was an overreaction.
Yeah, I think the same thing in the fact that he was done. He was checked out. He wanted to be gone, but you needed another party to agree with you. If that quote is true, if Mr. Rooney would agree with that, then they're there. Now they got to agree on how they're going to move on from him and where they can trade him.
Kyle?
Can I add a quick overreaction Monday?
Yeah, can I get this tweet in here real
Please.
quick from Adam Schefter because it just ties into this. He said Antonio Brown's agent, Drew Rosenhaus, joined the meeting, as did the Steelers' general manager, Kevin Colbert, and executive Amir Khan. Meeting was cordial, and, quote, everyone agreed the trade will be best. Everyone agreed the trade will be for the best for everyone. So there you have it. Kyle?
All right, Overreaction Monday. Art Rooney called Antonio Brown Mr. Big Chest during their meeting.
Not an overreaction.
Yeah. Me neither.
No, not an overreaction.
Call me Mr. Big Chest.
Yeah, most definitely.
He saw his man's body.
He's like, man, this man's body might be good for 2 first-round picks.
That's
What
right.
y'all looking at is a man body.
There it is. Cody?
Colin Kaepernick will play in the NFL next season.
Feels like an overreaction. I know Garagos came out on, is that Friday night? Saturday? I can't remember, saying, oh, there's 2, maybe a 3rd team that's interested. Even if we'll say that there's teams that might be interested, I don't think it's happening. Never felt it would happen again. I don't think it's going to.
Who was it? The Panthers, which would make sense with Eric Reed, and then the Patriots.
It was all speculation, though. Like,
yeah.
when you read it in its entirety. The natural would be if Cam Newton is out, and the natural place to be to play with Eric in Carolina. I mean, can you imagine? And you've got an owner there, and he left it at that. He actually didn't elaborate on it, but he's referring to David Tepper, who obviously signed Eric Reed. And from everything that we have heard, David Tepper had a huge issue with the fact that Colin Kaepernick wasn't in the league. He has a chance to rectify that should he decide to. And I would tell you, besides the Panthers, it would not surprise me if Bob Kraft makes a move. This is all speculation on his part. He goes on to say he absolutely wants to play. Speaking of Colin Kaepernick, he wants to compete at the highest level. I mean, this is a competitive young man. This is someone who is in his prime. You get smarter at that position, and he's wise beyond his years. With all of that said, this is not the first time that he's publicly said he thinks teams are going to sign Colin Kaepernick. This is a massive overreaction. I said on Friday, and I absolutely believe it to be true. The payout that he got last weekend marked the end of his football career. Not that his career wasn't already over, but I think that this marks the end of any association he has with the NFL ever again.
Yeah, I think they probably paid him enough to say, hey, walk away and let's never speak again.
Yeah. Exactly.
Enough that where he might want to play, but he financially is compensated for however long his career would have been, and he's set.
I got that question all weekend. I don't think there's a chance he plays in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm with you.
He would never, ever
It would
play
be
again.
fascinating if he did, though.
Yeah. Cody?
MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred said every single team wants to win. Is he overreacting?
Yeah. He is. Because I just don't believe that every team does.
You don't think every team wants to win? What are they doing?
No. I believe that's what you say at the beginning of the year. Yes, we want to win. I don't think every team constructs themselves to go win. And I think some of them look at that as like, well, we can save a couple of bucks this year, or we can save a couple of bucks and redirect it towards here, or we can stockpile our draft picks in our farm system and be ready to go a year from now or 2 years from now. Baseball is always the weirdest sport, particularly around their very odd main trade deadline, is you'll see a team that was really good the year before not be good this year and then go, well, blow it up, trade everybody. I feel like that's what the Pittsburgh Pirates did. Mm-hmm. Like they were really, really good the next year. Oh, not so much. Oh, let's trade everybody. Like, wait, what? Wait a minute. What? That's how it works in baseball?
The Marlins have done that twice after winning World Series.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. In one of the cheapest organizations in the entire league.
Yeah. I don't think it's an overreaction, but I think there's layers to it. It's kind of what you just explained. I think every team probably goes into spring thinking this is their year. But then when some legitimately have a chance, and I think others, their form of winning might be kind of what you alluded to, Damian, where, well, we're going to move these assets and we're going to make money. That's our win. Or we're going to break it all down, strip it all down, so in 4 years, we're going to be primed and ready to go. Well, that's their version of winning, even though we look at wins and losses and go, they were terrible. They won 45 games this year, but they did that to help the long-term picture. So the problem is sometimes that could be a team's plan, an organization's plan, and they never –
forever?
Yeah, and it never pans out, or then, oh, we got an opportunity to sign this player. We kind of changing it on the fly, and so – yeah, I don't think they always come to fruition that way.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Bueller?
They're all going to win. They're all going to be in the World Series.
30 100-win teams in Major League Baseball this year is
It
my
is
prediction.
possible.
Because that is mathematically
We don't do math here.
Yeah.
Welcome to the morning show.
Everybody wins.
That's probably the one thing that the Lowdown and the Drive have in common.
No math?
We just don't
It's
do math on
hard.
it. And when we do, it gets really weird.
Yeah.
Like the 100 years of football, that got weird
Yes.
quick.
The other day, Dave and I couldn't figure out how 43 and 39 didn't amount to the Kings being 4 games over 500. And it definitely does.
Yes.
But we spent 3 minutes figuring out where our math went wrong, and it didn't.
I can't figure out what type of commissioner Rob Manfred is. Like, I don't think he's a Goodell, but he's not a Silver, which is those are the two opposite spectrums of commissioners.
You kind of don't hear about him a lot.
Yeah.
He just sits there in the dark.
But is that kind of because it's baseball and you don't hear the same types of he's going to be a conversation now until Bryce Harper and Manny Machado get signed.
Yeah, but I felt like Bud Selig got mentioned more than Rob Manfred did.
Because he oversaw potentially the most destructive era in baseball history that we all seem to ignore and put him in the freaking Hall of Fame for.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest joke in the history of the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame.
I think Rob Manfred
Bud
is
Selig. Jesus.
is more of like a Leroy Jenkins
Okay.
because he came in and he's like, pitch clocks, DH in both leagues, 3 batter minimum for pitchers. Like he's just doing everything he can to make baseball a sport that millennials like. And he's
just saying stuff.
just gonna try whatever the heck.
He's just coming out.
Like,
and
let's
saying
change
stuff.
all the rules.
Cody,
We're now a football league.
Cody, you've got other job duties you got to go attend to. Thank you so much. We'll step out. We'll come back. There is a great Ricky Henderson story out there, and I want it to be real so bad. We've got that next. Did you and David have an extensive conversation on Cardi B and Bruno's new track last Friday?
Nope.
You should have. Because we had an extensive and it just didn't work. I didn't like it.
It was different than what I was expecting for sure, especially after the finesse remix.
Yeah, I wanted something different.
Yeah, I was expecting something closer to that, more dancey and less baby making-y.
How often does Cardi B come up when I'm not here? Once a week? Twice a week?
I'm gonna go never.
Oh, never. Okay.
Yeah, somewhere just
That would've been my next
south of never.
Okay.
South?
Yeah.
Okay. The conversation continues all day over on the Lowdown Facebook page. Even though we're here a little bit early, we like to post questions over on the Lowdown Facebook page, which you guys have made a tremendous success, and we're greatly appreciative too. If you haven't liked us on Facebook yet, go do that. Even if you don't like Facebook, like us on Facebook. Isn't it? You ever go to Facebook and you get like, I know you're not a big social media guy, which we're trying to change. We're trying to change you. But you ever go to Facebook and you get one of those weird anniversary posts that say, oh, you've been friends with, like it just says I've been friends with Io Taylor for 11 years. Like Io's my oldest friend. Like I've known him like for 20 years.
Yeah.
But
On Facebook, it's 11.
Doesn't count until it's Facebook official.
Yeah.
I heard that. I stumbled across like a friend anniversary from someone posted for me and you, Kyle. And
yeah.
I just remember, I was sad. Like, man.
Why were you sad?
Just
because we haven't been friends for long.
That's what it was, Kyle. That's definitely 100% what it was. Make sure you're with us. Tomorrow we're going to have 2 chances for you to win tickets to see Luke Bryan. He's at the Lake Toyota Outdoor Arena at Harvey's on August 25th. We had tickets today. We're going to have them all week. Tomorrow we're actually going to have 2 pair. Came across this Ricky Henderson story that we had to share with you because I want to believe that it's true. Ricky Henderson told the San Francisco Chronicle that he tried to find a way to play for both the A's and the Raiders simultaneously, and the A's turned him down.
Yeah, they wanted to protect what they had, their investment.
Quote from Ricky Henderson, when Bo Jackson first came into the league, I went to Al Davis to go play football, and he was going to let me be a 2-way player. The Oakland A's said, no way. You're not going out there. That's not going to happen.
Do we know what position he was looking to play in the NFL?
Well,
I imagine he played running back.
So
he played in high school.
Yes. So I'm trying to figure out the validity of this story. Like, is this Ricky being Ricky, doing Ricky Henderson things? But he was recruited by this will make you nauseous, USC and Arizona as a baseball and football player. But he stuck with baseball in college per his mother's instructions. And obviously he went on to become one of the greatest baseball players we've ever seen.
Today,
oh, yes.
I'm the greatest baseball player.
That was the best. Like with Lou Brock, Lou Brock's family there, he said, I'm the greatest
You're number
of
2.
all time.
I'm the greatest.
What else happened that day? Did Nolan Ryan throw a no-hitter that day?
Yeah, there was something else of like major, and I think it was. He
threw his 7th no-hitter, I think, of his career.
And it was the way each of them handled it was totally different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember, wasn't Ricky, like, agitated that Nolan Ryan, because it took some of his
shine on that day?
Took some of his shine away.
Huh. Probably.
MLB needs Ricky Henderson in this era. Like in the social media era,
yes.
Ricky Henderson by himself would put baseball on the map.
100%. Hey, just sidebar. Nolan Ryan threw 7 no-hitters.
Yeah.
Who's second?
Oh, I know this.
Do you?
Is
okay. I don't say is it because I won't know. So just tell me who it is and I'll believe you.
Jason.
Okay.
Is it?
Is it Koufax with like 5?
I feel like 5 is the number, but I don't. Okay.
I actually thought it might be lower. Like to think that Nolan Ryan threw 7 no-hitters is insane to me. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. And then I know he was close on a lot of others.
And then the fact that he threw a 7th one on the day Ricky Henderson became the all-time base stealing leader is just that much better.
It's Koufax with 4.
4. So 4 to 7.
Trash knowledge by me.
Second place.
Bob Feller with
is
3.
4.
Larry Corcoran with 3 and Cy Young with 3.
Good old Larry.
Wow.
Tim Lincecum threw 2.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. We need Ricky Henderson. We need Ricky Henderson today in baseball, or Ricky Henderson-like player.
He's just incredible, man.
Would Ricky Henderson tweet in third person?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course he would.
If you're tweeting in the third person, does that make it like...
I think he would tweet at
sixth
himself.
person? like he's adding himself in tweets?
And then retweeting it and quoting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does all of his... He likes every single one of his tweets.
Yeah, every single one.
He's his only follower.
Yeah, because his thing would be like, he wouldn't follow anybody, and his thing would be like, because I follow no man.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be that kind of thing.
He only follows guys named Ricky or something like that. Like it's the only way that it works. I love this story. I have no idea how accurate this story is. Obviously, maybe we could shoot Amy Trask a text message and ask her about this.
Okay, let's do it. Do you doubt it?
Not really.
No.
I doubt none of it.
No, but mainly because I think the only reason I'm even questioning is because it's Ricky Henderson. And not that Ricky Henderson is like a known liar, but Ricky hypes himself up quite a bit.
Well, yeah, and you just wonder if it, like, okay, how far along was this? Was it literally, hey, I think I could play football, and it just went, hey, I talked to Al Davis, oh, maybe it's something we'd look at, and that's it? Or were they really, really looking at it, and then he went back to the A's, and they said, no, it's in our contract, you're in our best interest to not have you play another sport. It just depends on how far along this really went, but I do believe it was very possible.
Ricky Henderson graduated from Oakland Technical High School, where he played baseball, basketball, and football, and was an All-American running back with a pair of 1,000-yard rushing seasons. He also ran track, but did not stay with the team as schedule conflicted with baseball. Henderson received over a dozen scholarship offers to play football. Despite a childhood dream to play for the Oakland Raiders, he turned down the scholarships on the advice of his mother, who agreed that football players have shorter careers.
And then he played baseball for 46 years.
This might be Ricky's greatest stat if we can see if it still holds true today. Ricky Henderson in 1983 married his high school sweetheart. They had 3 kids together. I can't see anywhere if they're still married, but if they are, that might be Ricky's greatest stat.
There you go.
Get married in 1983, become one of baseball's greatest players, and you're still married after all of that?
Ricky likes that.
Ricky does.
Yeah.
Ricky does. I don't know that we can handle another Ricky Henderson, to be perfectly honest.
Ricky Henderson in the social media era would spark more outrage on the internet.
Comparable athlete. Right now. Is
In
it
baseball?
Well, no.
Oh,
There is
just
no
comparable.
comparison. Is it the guy that we were just talking about? Is it Antonio Brown?
I think it might be Joel Embiid.
I feel Joel is more playful than Ricky Henderson would be.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, Antonio Brown is about Antonio Brown. Open for business. Hashtag booming. Hashtag call God. Hashtag this is a man's body.
What y'all looking at is a man body.
Thank you to Alex, who's commenting on Instagram pictures now that this is a man's body.
Would Ricky do the A-Rod picture where he kissed himself in the mirror?
Dude, that picture is so great.
Yeah.
And yes, Ricky would. Ricky would.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can we get you to reenact that picture for your next social media?
Why?
For your next Instagram picture, will you reenact Alex Rodriguez kissing himself in a mirror?
I'd have to do my own spoof on that.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
That would be really, really good. Are we done? I think we have to get out of here at a specific time to make sure that Jim Rome starts on time.
No, we're good. We got another minute. This is on Wikipedia.
Okay.
One unconfirmed story reports seeing Ricky Henderson standing naked in front of a mirror before a game, practicing his swing and declaring, "Ricky's the best. Ricky's the best." Antonio Brown stands naked in front of a mirror and
What
says,
y'all looking at is a man body.
That is exactly what I was going to reenact, so never mind. It's been done.
Oh. Well, isn't that how
Saying
you get
Ricky's
ready for
the
the
best?
show?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I get ready for the show. I just thought that was normal behavior. I didn't realize that was so weird. We can't live stream that part though. We tried to, but it was.
I think we can put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
I believe
Put it on your Instagram story.
We could put anything on Instagram. All right, we're done. Thank you for being with us. We will be back. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Despite the fact that we had Overreaction Monday today,
Call me
tomorrow.
Mr. Big Chest.
Thank you very much. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Dave will be back with you on Monday. We appreciate you so much for being with us. For Jay Marshall producing the live stream, Kyle Madsen, Cody Baylor, Jay Ross, I'm Damian Barling. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m.